Hello, this is Pixie. Just got a MGTOW thought actually. I was thinking about with social makeup and society. So for me, I know, well, from the data, it suggests there's more men in my town than there is women because they come here to work. That might have changed a bit because of COVID and working from home. So the more average people I see on the street, they're either going to be quite young females or they're going to be mums, which probably isn't a strange trend. I think a lot of women would prefer to be at home with children, basically. You know, they would like to work if they want to work. The option of having a kind of being the social hub in the middle is kind of preferred. I mean, some women are not necessarily into sort of this maternal instinct so much, or they put them things off, but they do catch on eventually. So I don't know if women are having children later in life or younger nowadays. It depends on the prospects, really. I mean, if there was things you used to do before COVID that you can't, it would be an option. It's like the plan B. You know, think, well, okay, well maybe I should just start a family and not worry about that. And if he can earn more money doing that, or the reverse, maybe you could say, well, I tell you what, he can stay home and look after the kids, and I'll go out and work, or however you sort of plan these things. But the other important thing I was thinking about was, okay, so there's more men than women ratio, because, as I mentioned, because of this sort of a town where you've got more businesses running, and IT businesses and things like that. That more people come into the town who are male, but then you can also have in a town that you might have the ratio of beta males to alpha males. So if you've got more alpha males in a particular area, you may have a lot more single mums. And if you're more of a seasoned beta, you might not be looking to take on a family. So they kind of limit your options there. I mean, in the same way as that a female might be not interested in, you know, if a man's got a young family, he's got lots of issues and other things going on now, or financial issues, because there is a certain amount of, I guess I could say it's a burden, but it's a responsibility as well to support what you create, which some alpha males elude, and the women let them. So they seem to think, well, if I pick up with somebody else who's got more money and more successful, then I attain more autonomy over my children, because maybe the alpha male maybe thought he was in control, but it's her, because she knew that she could get the best out of him and she didn't have to necessarily stay with him, because there might be some things that might have been slightly obnoxious, like he likes to be in control or something, which may have seemed attractive, that he likes to get his own way, but maybe he does it all the time, and you know, all these other reasons why relationships don't work out. And then the other issue with the beta male is that he could be possibly being used as being taken advantage of by people, maybe some other people's family and other things. So it's difficult to find a balance of somebody who's kind and nurturing, but then also you want them to be something different and on different times. So you want somebody with basically almost a split personality. It's a bit hard to train, but I guess with work environments you do that anyway. It encourages you to be a bit more sociopathic, because you might have just be there for money or whatever your business is focused on. That's why the care game is a bit better for me. But even then, there's things of like working with people suffering and stuff, or sometimes they have to, in order to get better. They have to, certain things have to be done to them, I guess. You know, so that's the other side of it. But the other thing, yeah, the ratio of the alpha males to beta are different. Same with females. If there's more beta females and more alpha males, they're going to probably take advantage of them. And there's going to be a string of single mums, and it means that possibly, yeah, I mean, people are going to be less attracted to young children, unless that's what they want, to have a ready-made family. But it may leave a sort of pocket of people that once their kids are grown up, then they look for a relationship. They said, I'm going to look after myself now, I'll put myself first. And I mean, there's sort of these red flags when women say stuff like, my children are my world and stuff, because it means you don't fit in. You're just a spare part in that thing. You're facilitating the needs of the children, which might be for a father figure of sorts, and they might want a balanced, because you say you've got one type of person, you want the other, so you want the best of all the dads, really, if they're playing that kind of game. So that's the MGTOW. Some of the MGTOW just a gender force, really, because I guess the makeup of different towns, different cities, and so on vary a bit. Cities probably a bit more broad based, but a town could have a proportional difference. I mean, you could get in a city that there's a lot of lonely people because they journey in and spend their time. Bars, it could be more casual rather than more serious things. I don't know. Every city and place is different. So anyway, there's some thoughts on that. As for me, at some point, I think I'll just journey internationally to look for what I want, and there's no rush. I think what you need to do is create a money base, sort the finances out, and I'm doing it with some investment stuff, but you want to keep that under your own control. You don't sort of throwing it out there. But there's some good things. I mean, we've got Safe Moon, which is likely to go more up in the future. There's a lot of things going on with it, tokenomics, and I think it's been underestimated. So it's just a case of people, if they're into it, hodl, and don't go for any other type of moon currency. They're basically copycats currencies, and they don't have nothing to do with it at all. So you might have Pilot Moon and Fair Moon and all these other moons, but I mean, basically, once you've got a brand, you might as well stick with it. I know the idea of a moonshot and currency going to the moon and all this sort of stuff, but it comes down to its tokenomics. Does it actually fulfil what it says it fulfills? Does it have a white paper? Is it going somewhere? And that's one of the key factors, really. And Defi as well, decentralized finance. Bloody taxi again, fucking hell. This guy yesterday was been a bit of a nuisance, taxi driver, probably him. He just blocked the car park. I eventually had to tell him to get out of the way, and then some other car come behind him, and I was sort of ranting a little bit. So I can't even get into where I live. Yeah, just a decentralized finance, a lot of interest on it. There's some other features that people are not actually aware of, like a dual currency, like something mixed together. I think you do a pancake swap, so it's like wrapped currencies. People say, oh, if you put in a Volt BNB, so you've got that staked, you've got another currency staked, that's all you need to do, and you get the benefits of these both. And actually what it says, it might say, like it was Poly Doge, and so it's Matic and Doge. I mean, Doge wrapped in Matic or something. How it works, I don't know. So the way it's achievable is that it's got a little thing at the bottom. It says get it, and if it, well, how do you get it? And then what it does is it shows that on PancakeSwap there's a liquidity button, and you can put two currencies together. God knows what that costs to merge them. And then also, what do you do for a wallet? That would be the next curious thing. If you mix two coins together, this is just really like going to hybridize the currency. We have yet to see the full potential of the crypto, but it's getting your head around all these things that maybe they're obvious to the makers of them. But the general public have really got their heads there. It was like somebody he was taking out a loan. He was staking it. He's taking out a loan, restaking it, taking a loan, because the payback is probably half of what you're going to get for staking and making money out of it, which is bonkers. So he's saying they're paying me for a loan. There is risk though, because the price changes a lot. He's going to have to cop the difference, but because it probably have some static within the money. But however, we're at the lowest point at the moment, so it's not like he's going to sort of drop half his value. But if he did, he'd have to pay for all that. But if he goes up, he's just going to make more and more money. So it's pretty bonkers, that is. So yeah, so because you can borrow 75% of the liquidity you provide, and then it was looking at the health of his finance, and because he restaked it, it put his health bar up, so he could repeat the process about 3 times. As for me, I've got some. I come across something, Cryptos, and I was staking my Venus on the Venus platform for. I think it dropped slightly down. It was just under 7%, and so APY, which is like compound interest. But I come across a Cryptos and it's got 55%. So I thought, blimey. So I put my money there and I got it staked. And the longer you stake it, the better. Otherwise, there's like some sort of fees to pay to get your money out, a 10% fee or so much of a percentage. But if you left it in there for a year, you're looking at 55% more of your revenue of what you put in there. And plus, it's probably also affected by the interest rates of things as well. So when Bitcoin goes up, I mean, I should explain that. When Bitcoin goes up, the value of everything else goes up usually. And so, there's more money. And it doesn't matter if you've got a bull or bear market really, because if you stake it and you're getting a silly percentage on it, if it's like 20, 50, I mean some of it was like 200 and something percent for wrapping 2 coins together. So I might look at, or even more than that, it's like 800%. I think, what? It is a little bit of a no-brainer, because you could just buy say £50, £100 of one currency and another, merge them, and then stake them, and then if you've got 800 return on it, it should be loads of money, wouldn't it? Loads of wonga. I'll go down the bottom. Just get some work rounds turn up. Anything else going on? Not really. I've got a buggered foot I'm trying to heal up. Tendonitis, I had to get some inserts into my shoes because it wouldn't go away. So I got to just do research on health conditions. Another thing is, if you're looking after yourself, MGTOW. And I guess the other thing on MGTOWs, I've got some options. Date some women. One of them, I've got a walking stick just in case I need it. I mean, one of them earns twice as much money, which is just sort of average looking. And sometimes with your brain, you're just looking for the looks, but you have to look at it. If somebody's got a lot of money, it'd be good to have them in your life. You just might not get into it too serious anyway to pick someone up.